Hey, I am live for the 32nd time in 2019. I thought I'd do a short stream reacting to the portion of WWE Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia that I watched. A Scotsman in Asia. How you doing? Boom, boom, boom. How's it going? I almost never watched this show. I'm not a big wrestling fan these days. I think the wrestling from not just WWE, but everything to do with wrestling today sucks and has done for many, many years. But there was one match that caught my attention for the Saudi Arabia show. Goldberg versus The Undertaker, first time ever. And when I heard about that match, I thought, I think I have to watch this show. I really do. Should name change to a Scotland and miserable Englandshire. Well, are you home at the moment or something? What or you up to much? So yeah, this match, Goldberg and the Undertaker, was like it's going to be a train wreck, which it was. You're home in Thailand. Welcome. This is just going to be a short stream. My third Wrestle Banter stream. What I do is, in the middle of talking about fake fights, I do have a wee chit chat too with whomever comes into the chat, and I'm open to talk about anything else. There's a little bit of a theme going on, but also I'm open to chit chat about whatever YouTube can let us chit chat about, which is not much these days. The censorship is real. So I ended up ordering this show. It was I'm not going to comment about the place on here. Um, give my opinion on the country on here. Hey Anthony, how are you doing? The show tonight was almost finished. I think there was like 3 matches left, and then I was going to go out, but I did pay for the show. Well, it will come out of my bank whenever it comes out of my bank, but the usual 14.95. So I ended up staying in. I thought, if I'm going to watch this match, I want to see it live. I don't want any spoilers. Spoiler alert: The Undertaker won. The Undertaker won this matchup. So I was always going to watch this match on replay or whatever, even if it was just highlights. But if I were going to watch this, I wanted to watch it live. So I ended up ordering the show for this match because none of the other wrestlers interest me in the slightest. None of the other full-time performers. It's always the old stars, the past their prime stars, the Brock Lesnar's, the Rocks that draw my attention to today's product because WWE wrestling in general have not created stars in the last. John Cena, I guess, is a star, but he's very manufactured. He's not Hulk Hogan. He didn't draw people in. He's not Steve Austin. He's not a Rock. He's nowhere near their star quality when they were all in their prime. John Cena drew a lot of fans away. Anyways, I'm rambling on here. As soon as Goldberg walked, now I'm a fan of both. I have, as far as wrestling goes, unlimited respect for The Undertaker. He's in my top 10, top 5 wrestlers of all time, easily. Goldberg, I like. One of my favorite moments as a wrestling fan was watching Goldberg at SummerSlam 2003 end life in that Hell in the not the Hell in the Cell, the Elimination Chamber. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed his comeback match for what it was against Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series in 2016. So I have a lot of time for both of these wrestlers. But I understood going into this match, they're both way past their prime. And this is like wrestling. This is how bad wrestling is. It has to literally drag out these really past their prime stars because they haven't created any new ones. They have not created any new ones. And this is what we got tonight. So Goldberg came out, and he didn't look like his usual self. I knew something was off the moment he came out of his dressing room. Did he concuss himself before opening his locker room door? Did he bang on the door of his head too much that he concussed himself before the match? It really looked like he did. He's done this before in the past. And the way he was walking down to the ring, he just didn't look like himself. It was like, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Then the Undertaker came out and he walked like, I know he walked slow to the ring, but he looked like he was injured. I thought, oh my, it's like, I love both of these guys, but this match should have never taken place. This was 20 years too late. Perhaps if it even happened 10 years ago, it would have still been decent. But I mean, Goldberg has hardly wrestled since 2004. He's past his prime. The Undertaker has been very part-time since 2011, and the last few matches he's had have really showed that he is done. He is done with wrestling. He needs to rest his wrestling career in peace. Same with Goldberg. But because of all the money the WWE were getting for this show, hey Raymond, how's it going? Money talks and bullshit walks. And this is what we got because of all the money being thrown at the wrestlers to do this specific show. We got the dream match, Goldberg versus The Undertaker. And that match was the only reason that I've had any interest in wrestling, really, since WrestleMania 35, which was a complete snore fest. It was dreadful. Hulk Hogan returned to that show. Paul Heyman walked down to Real American. And apart from that, at WrestleMania 35, I can't remember much else from WrestleMania 35. What else? Hey, Raymond says, I missed them all too. And like I've said, with this specific video, I watched for the Goldberg versus The Undertaker match tonight because I've got zero interest in wrestling these days. And Goldberg and The Undertaker are both from my childhood. I more grew up with The Undertaker. I was always a WWF fan. I never paid much attention to WCW. I was always blooming loyal to this WWF. Don't know why, but anyways, so I was watching, two wrestlers from my childhood when, the Attitude Era was the last boom period of wrestling. I got into, hey Vicky, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Noticed you've been going live a couple of times recently. this will be a short stream, but I just had to give my thoughts on WWE Super Showdown, what I did watch of it. So, The Undertaker got to the ring, and the first 5 minutes of the match, it went as good as you could have expected. There was no botches. Goldberg hit 2 spears. It was kind of like his Survivor Series match with Brock Lesnar. And you were waiting for. I had a feeling the Undertaker was going to win, which he did. I thought, I think it was supposed to. I'm not a fan of baseball. I like football, soccer, what Americans call, and fake fights, aka professional wrestling, when it was good. You up to much, Vicky? So, all of the Undertaker too. Like I said earlier on in this video, I am Undertaker's my top 10 wrestlers of all time list. Goldberg I like as well, but I think both are way past their prime, and it really showed tonight. Denver Broncos. I've heard of them. I'm very out of the loop with real American sports, but I have heard of Denver Broncos. This will be a short stream. I just had to react to this matchup. It's, you know what? Well, I'll continue talking about this matchup. So, first 5 minutes, pretty it was as good as you could expect from these two over the hill stars, past their prime stars. And then we got a choke slam from the Undertaker, and I think it was slightly better than the choke slam he did to Hollywood Hulk Hogan at Judgment Day 2002. It wasn't the worst choke slam of all time. Oh, did I leave you, Vicky? Oh, not so good. Goldberg, the choke slam was bad, so I thought, first botch move of this match. And then following that choke slam, the match really went downhill after that, and I was just kind of. I blame the WWE. I blame them putting money before quality. This match should have never taken place. There was a couple of bad botches that followed. Undertaker almost botched, well, he kind of did actually botch the tombstone pile driver. Goldberg's head bounced off the canvas. His head's not supposed to bounce off the canvas. So that could have really injured Goldberg. Oh, oops. See, that's I thought Denver Broncos were like a baseball team. Since you mentioned baseball, that's how much I'm out of the loop with real American sports, Raymond. So we got a tombstone from the Undertaker. It wasn't the worst tombstone I've ever seen, but it was It was one of the more dangerous tombstones I have seen. So I thought, oh, this is not good. This is going from bad to worse. And then we got perhaps the worst jackhammer I've ever seen. It was, watching it on replay, very painful to watch. It just, but I don't want to. I'm not Matt Riddle. There's a guy called Matt Riddle. I had to Google him because I had not a clue, not a Scooby-Doo, who he was. I kind of heard of his name, but if someone had said point Matt Riddle out, I couldn't have done it. So I Googled him because he was talking rubbish. he called Goldberg the worst wrestler of all time. He's not the worst. He's actually one of the best wrestlers of all time because he actually draws fans to the product. It's not all about the flippity flops, the fake choreography, any of that rubbish. It's all about putting asses in seats, and Goldberg is one of the best, or used to be one of the best at that. The only reason I watched the silly Showdown show tonight was because of Goldberg and The Undertaker. Couldn't care less about anybody else on WWE's roster at the moment. Even Lesnar, I don't care. I've seen enough Lesnar. Lesnar's one of my favorites. I've seen enough of his match. I don't need to see any more Lesnar matches. But I googled this Matt Riddle, and he was really trolling on Bill Goldberg tonight. I'm like, why? Like, it was such a dick move, to be honest. And hey, Murad, how's it going? And I had to Google to find out who Matt Riddle was. I honestly had no idea who he was. So I had to Google him. So apparently he's a better wrestler than Goldberg, but Matt Riddle, he's somebody I had to Google to find out who he was tonight. And he was in UFC and now a professional wrestler. And I've honestly never heard much about him until tonight. But he was badmouthing Goldberg, and I was like, wow, is there really much need for that? I'm in Scotland, Raymond. Where are you? Glad you're good, Murad. So I'm not going to be like Matt and bash The Undertaker and Goldberg. Was it a good match? No, it was dreadful. It's almost in the, I would say it's in the category full. It was so bad it was good. I'll watch it again for a laugh. I can't help it. It was funny. It was quite funny. But technically speaking, it was a disaster. But I don't blame The Undertaker and Goldberg because they were way past their prime. They've hardly wrestled in years. And they were put in an awkward position by the WWE tonight. And that's my thoughts on it. I watched Super Showdown for that match because I knew it'd be a train wreck. I wanted to see how bad it was, and it did disappoint, to be honest. The weather is it was quite warm today, warmish compared to usual. Murad saying it's hot as hell in Las Vegas. Raymond's from Illinois, USA. This will be a short stream. I wanted to get my thoughts out there about Bill, and for those who enjoy these videos and those very few people that enjoy me and like wrestling, I thought I'd get my thoughts out there. Sounds like it's very hot with you, Vicky. I hope the cats are behaving tonight, Vicky. Wow, that's roasting with you, Murad. So just to wrap up on the wrestling part of this video, the Goldberg versus Undertaker match was a disaster, but I don't blame any performer. They were put in an awkward position. This happened because Saudi Arabia was throwing money at the WWE, and that's the only reason this match took place tonight. Both legends, both icons of wrestling. Technically, it was a disaster, but it's also in the category. It was so bad, it was good. And I loved Undertaker's facials after the match. He looked pissed off. It was yeah. I can't say it's not worth watching because it is. As I say, it's also in the category of it was so bad it was good. And as bad as this match was, technically, I was much more entertained by it than most things they do today in wrestling. I mean, I watched a bit of AEW last weekend, and that was in the so bad it was good category too. That battle royal was eye-opening. Let's just say. Vicky's video says, "LOL, it's getting ready." Oh no! Do you get bad storms where you are, Vicky? Murad says, I wish we get rain here. We're lucky. Have you been live again lately, Murad? I've been very part-time on YouTube in regards to watching people and not been producing so many content lately either, and compared to previous months. And plus, um, Murad will be live tomorrow night. Vicky says, repeat, please, Paul. I was just asking you if you do you get many big storms in your area? Yeah, I've been kind of crap at watching people in the last couple of weeks, so I apologize. I've been rubbish. I've also got my sleeping patterns back into gear. So if people go, if you Americans go on later on during the day, I'm asleep. So I've got my sleeping patterns back into gear, and that's been another reason why I haven't been watching so many live streams lately. So I apologize. I'm going to try and watch more going forward, but I've been kind of really part time on YouTube in general lately. In case anybody wonders where I've been, it's free and humid with Raymond in Illinois. It's quite humid here compared to Scotland standards, but nothing compared to what it'd be like in America. So I won't stay on too much longer. I'm not going to stay on any more than half an hour. I just wanted to give my thoughts on Goldberg versus The Undertaker. An F, technically. A zero, or actually, that's a bit harsh. I'd say if I were to rate this match, technically, I would get maybe a. I'm going to do a Bret Hart. I'm going to say a 4 out of 10. That's been generous, actually. But in the category of it was so bad it was good, a solid 8 out of 10. So depending how you look at this match, but also Undertaker's facial at the end was rather amusing. It'll be interesting to see the fallout from this show, this matchup, and see where the Undertaker and Goldberg and WWE go from here. All right, you take care, Vicky. Good to see you in here. I hope you have a great weekend if I don't see you again. So in the next 7 minutes of this video, I'll wrap this up in the half an hour mark. If you're coming in late, I've just given my thoughts on the portion of the WWE Super Showdown I did watch, which wasn't much of it. I ordered it late in the evening. I wasn't going to bother with it. I was going to go out. I didn't go out. I thought, well, I might as well, since I never went out, I might as well watch this show. And when I ordered it, it was Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler match, which I didn't really pay much attention to. I'm really bored of Dolph Ziggler. Kofi Kingston's, I don't think he's a great WWE champion. You take care, Raymond. Thank you for popping in. And then there was a big 50-man battle royal. Didn't really pay much attention to it either. A guy from Saudi Arabia won it. What are the chances that a guy from there would win? I hate when WWE and wrestling do that. They have the people that are from the area go over. It used to always bother me. It's like so fake. Doesn't happen in just because Rangers play Celtic at Ibrox doesn't mean they're always going to win. It doesn't happen in real sports. I always hate that about wrestling. Like whenever Bret Hart was in Canada, we'd always win in Canada, or if he were in America, he'd lose. I hate all that nonsense. And then we had the main event of the night, Goldberg versus The Undertaker, which, I've talked about earlier on in this video. So this portion is just going to be chit-chatting with whomever pops in the next 6 minutes. Then I'm going to tap out of this live stream. I've got a bit of announcement too. This will be my last live stream, hopefully ever, but never say never, because I have mapped out 300 videos I'm planning on doing. Yeah, you heard right, nearly 300 videos. They're all going to be non-live. They're all going to be on this channel. They're also all going to be on my BitChute. You can find me on there, PMDB videos. I'm probably going to add them to my personal Facebook too. So I've mapped out 300 videos I'm going to do, and all of them are going to be non-live. So this will be my last live video for hopefully ever, because I think I've ran them into the ground. I've kind of lost interest in lives overall. And I'm not being funny, but I think a lot of people's lives sound, including mine, a lot of people's lives sound the same. It's, hi, how are you doing? Hi, hi. Oh, almost to that milestone subscription mark. Oh, very good. Yeah. Hi, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. A lot of the lives, including some of my lazy live streams, all kind of sound the same. So I'm going to put the live streams on an extended break for until at least I'm done with these videos I've got planned on doing. All these non-live videos I've mapped out, which will be dropping in next and for the rest of this year. Ideally, I'd like to be finished up by 2020, but this could go on until 2020. I'm not going to rush them out either. I've got a plan, and live streams are not part of this plan. So, following this live stream, one last Wrestle banter, one last Wrestle rant, because I think this, for me, I think Goldberg versus The Undertaker could possibly be the last wrestling match I watch live. This could be it. So I'm going off on a high, a botch fest high. I love it. So I'll stay on here a couple more minutes, see who comes in. If nobody comes in after the half an hour mark, then I'll tap out this live stream. Why am I singing? And yeah, but my streams will be going on the shelf for indefinite period of time. And coming up is nearly 300 videos, and they'll all be non-live on YouTube, my main YouTube channel. Jen, hello. You know what? I might stick around. If more people pop in after the half-hour mark, I might stick around. But since it's titled Wrestle Banter, I might have to talk more about wrestling. So beware. I appreciate that share, Jen. I appreciate the comments on some of my non-live videos lately. I'm glad you seem to be enjoying. How are you tonight? Fantastic seeing you in here. I was saying to people earlier on that I haven't been watching so many live streams lately myself. I've been very part-time on here. I've also got my sleeping patterns into gear. I don't stay up all night and watch streams now since I've got my sleeping patterns into gear. So I've missed a lot of people's live streams, and I'm hoping to catch up, hoping to watch more going forward. I have been very part-time in the last couple of weeks, in case anybody's been wondering, oh, where's he gone? I'm here. Just haven't been watching so much in general. You up to much tonight, Jen, today, this weekend? Much planned? I just got done watching WWE Super Showdown, a small portion of that. No, you're exactly right, Jen. They do not mix YouTube and sleep. Not at all. Oh, well, in Scotland, it's technically the I said, well, if you're saying tomorrow's my birthday, so your birthday's June the 8th, right? So technically in Scotland, it's June the 8th now. So happy birthday from Scotland. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Jen. I don't see you around. Yeah, I'm in the future. It's your birthday right now here. Any birthday plans then? You're very welcome. I appreciate you. You don't need to share this out. I'm not even on. I deleted my Twitter again. I'm barely on Facebook. I deactivated quite a lot. 37. You don't look it. I've seen you on panels. Just a number like, but you definitely don't look it. I'll stay on here another 5 minutes, then we'll see what happens. Nothing wrong. I would say it's a good thing then. You're aging like that, Jen. So I got done watching WWE Super Showdown. I hate wrestling today, but I had to see what this Goldberg versus Undertaker match was like, and in ways it never disappointed. Then I seen Matt Riddle's comments about Goldberg, and like, really, he's 33 years old and he's bad mouthing a wrestler that's much more relevant than he'll ever be in his life in regards to wrestling. I just thought it was really bad taste, and like I said, I had to Google to find out who Matt Riddle was. Perhaps if I had been a fan of the UFC, which I'm not, I would have known more about him, but I just thought it was bad. So I had to get rant out, I had to get Wrestle rant out my thoughts on the WWE Super Showdown. Now, if you're late coming to this live stream, I've already talked about the portion of the WWE Super Showdown I did watch. I gave my thoughts on it quite in depth. So for the rest of this video, will just be chit chat. Haven't watched wrestling in years. The last time I watched the WWE was when Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Mankind were big. Funnily enough, Jen, that's the last time most people watched wrestling. That was the last boom period. The WWE is so much of a disaster, they had to drag out two relics from the past in this Saudi Arabia show to sell it to audiences because they have created no stars since those days. Pathetic, rather pathetic. I think wrestling's dead. And I'm saying that as a fan of. I had a good time growing up with wrestling, and I attended a WrestleMania, even though I didn't really like the product at the time. I really don't like it at all now. But I mean, I've had some good times with wrestling, and I would like to see it great again. But I think that ship has sailed. So I'm not going to stay on here too long, Jen. I was saying earlier on too, my wee announcement was this will be my last live stream ever, hopefully, because the next 300 videos or so will be all non-live. Yes, I have mapped out 300 videos that I want to do next, and none of them is going to be live because they're all going to be edited, and I just feel like, me personally, I've ran my live streams into the ground. I'm kind of bored with them. And I was saying earlier on, a lot of people's live streams, including mine, some of mine, they all sound. Am I wrong in saying this? But they all kind of sound the same. Live streams consist of this. Say Adriana popped in. Hi Adriana, how you doing? Hello Diva Dave, how you doing? It's the same every live stream, and I want to give something more than just the same. Like, I feel like mine and other people's live streams are turned into the same thing over and over again, and I want to get away from that personally. So Maybe people have got a difference of opinion, but I've been speaking. I won't mention names, but I've been speaking to others, and they've had the same feelings. And like live streams are, a lot of people's live streams aren't like they're either drama, which I can't stand, or they're basically the same every time. You know, it's a chat room, like Jen says, and sometimes they can be good, sometimes they can develop, and whatever we talk about can end up being very funny, or it can go places. But a lot of times, me and others, yeah. So I'm gonna give more to the people who do watch me and following this stream. I've got my wrestling rant out. I've gave you my thoughts on Goldberg versus The Undertaker, which will probably be the last ever wrestling match I watch live. So it's the end of an era. My live stream's coming, end of their run. My little wrestling phase is the end of that run, finally. Jen says it's nice to connect with the careers. Yeah, I will say the thing the live streams have got going for them is it gives you the opportunity you don't get with non-lives, and that is getting that instant feedback from likes of yourself and others that come in real time. You do not get that with non-live. And that's what's one of the major positives about the live streams is the instant interaction and actually getting a flowing conversation with the people who watch you, the people you're friends with and socialize with on YouTube. Oh, Jan, you're too kind there. I'm just reading the last bit you wrote. Bart, hey, I appreciate that, Jen. Thank you very much. So I've, of course, plans could change, but the current plan is no more non-live videos. Um, I've mapped out nearly 300 videos I'm going to do over the next several months that are going to be on here, on BitChute, and on my Facebook. So if YouTube's ever down or wherever, find me on BitChute. You know, a large portion of my videos are there. It's PMDB videos over there. The same name as my original channel on here. I have 3 channels on here. This one you're watching right now, my original channel, PMDB Videos, which is home to over 1,000 videos of mine. And then there's the Wrestle with Damien channel that will probably get rebranded again because I hate wrestling today. I don't know if I can after tonight. I don't know. I think I have to be done with watching wrestling. I can't do it anymore. Tonight was a one-off. Jen says it's not. Oh, I've read that bit. You can have the best of both worlds and yeah, that's a good. I always forget about that premiere feature. Also, I've done it twice. I haven't done it again since, but that's right. You can do the premiere feature. Whew. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up here, Jen. I don't think many more people will pour in. It was always meant to be a short stream, talking about fake fights. Got my wrestling opinion out. Goldberg still love you. You're not one of the worst wrestlers ever. You're one of the best. Undertaker, you're in some ways the best. Anyways. Um, Not that any of them will watch this video. They've not got Scooby Doo who Paul Michael David Bain is, but you know, I had to get my opinions out there. And so going forward, like I say, I've got 300 videos in my head, all mapped out. Plans could change, of course, but if I go on this path, there will be no non-live. There'll be no there'll be no lives, and it'll be all non-live lives, and they'll be available on YouTube, BitChute, and my Facebook. Jen says, "Okay, glad I caught you. Best of luck with your videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jen. And I will try and be watching more people's content going forward too. The last couple of weeks I've been not watching so many people on YouTube, especially with having decent sleep patterns again. So I've missed a lot. But if we're in the same chat place as Jen, I'll look out for you. And you take care, Jen. Very much appreciate your support here and hope to continue entertaining you. I'm glad you seem to be enjoying the non-lives, and there's going to be, if I go with this plan, there's going to be a lot of non-lives to come over the next several months. So and all be on this channel. Not sure what I'm going to do with my other two channels yet. I'll think of something. I'm sure I'll think of something. But as far as the live streams, goodbye, farewell. As far as my wrestling phase, goodbye, farewell. And I'm going to say goodbye, and not farewell, but goodbye to you, Jen, for tonight. I'm glad you think so. I hope I continue to entertain you and the few amount of people that watch for the rest of this year. And enjoy your birthday tomorrow. Enjoy your birthday tomorrow. Take care, Jen, and good night. God bless everybody. Goldberg versus The Undertaker was so bad it was good. Night, night.